Hello guys, in this movie I will be showing how to replace the air conditioning motor and the resistor which goes with it. So the problem with this car is that air conditioning was working like intermittent connection. Sometimes it was working, sometimes it was just not starting. Like I just started the engine a few moments ago, it was working fine. But now again it doesn't. I thought that maybe problem is with the connectors on the back. So I removed them and just placed them back, but it is not. So sadly, I will have to replace the motor. As far as I know, the motor is deeply in this position further on. So the first step will be to remove the panel which is here. After removing this panel, there will be only one connector on the back. To remove the panel, you just using the plastic tool. Just bend this between. As you can see, it's holding by the iron things which going here. So you just have to put the tool here, then leave this slightly gently. Don't rush it up because you don't want to break anything. So just do this slowly. After this panel will be gone, you're removing this one connector which goes to the panel. This is for emergency lights. And then the next step will be to remove this bit. So again, you're placing the tool here. Just work around on the both sides and then this will come off. So that's quite easy. And then there will be connectors on the back, which is one here, the other one is over there. That's also easy to be removed. You're just pressing the button on the middle, which is here, and then you're sliding this out and the connector will come out on the both ends. So first we will remove this bit. So this is how those connectors looks like. So like I said, you're pressing this wee thing here and this will allow you to release the connector and it will just come out. So after this is gone, then I think on the top you should probably have two screws as well here. I didn't have them because the car someone broke them before. So but I think you will have two screws here, one here and one here, but I cannot really tell because this doesn't look like original part, but you might have anyway. So with this panel gone, next step will be to remove this part. So this part again, you have to put the tool and just leave this on the sides. Before you will remove this part, you have to open this wee drawer, because if you're not gonna do it, then this drawer is hanging out a little bit on the sides, which means that when you will put this out, it will just break it. So first open the drawer and then work the way around to remove the panel. So when you will manage to remove this, as you can see, it's holding just by the something like a, I don't know how you're calling it, just like small things to clip in. So when you will clip out, there are two connectors. One is here, the other one is on other end. Now with them gone, we need to remove the radio. To remove the radio, there are two screws. One is on this end, the other one is on that end. Now to remove the radio, there are three connectors. The first one, you're pressing this wee button here and you can remove the connector. The second one is big one over here. You have to squeeze those two and then this will be released. And the third one is on the back over here, and this is just matter of pulling it out. You don't have to press anything. So after removing those, we need to remove the drawer, which is held by two screws, on one here, the one is on other end. Now with the sweet drawer gone, I can see that there is a cover for the motor here. So I think the next step will be to remove everything here which is remaining, and I will say the middle console as well. And when this console will be gone, we can pull it out and then it's gonna be easy access to the motor. The motor is quite big, so replacing it not gonna be easy. So we need to create as much space as we can to not break anything, because you don't want to break things. So I see from here that there are screws on the both ends here on the bottom. Then there are another two screws over here, and then another two screws, here and over there. Now this is the back of the car, so you have to remove this to get access to the screws that hold the whole central part. So you have to put the tool on the bottom and just leave this on the ends, and then this will come off. And then the top part, as you can see, this is overlapping, so don't start from the top because you will break it. So you have to remove this part, and this will give you access to those screws. So yes, it's gonna be size 10. So you have to put the nuts size 10 and remove 2 screws on both ends. So as you can see with those, you don't see this, you can see only this one here, but with those 2 gone, you can actually leave this part, which will allow us to leave this and move it back. So now we have to move to the front. So the next step will be on the front. As you can see here, this part needs to be removed. It's just a matter of pulling it out and it will come off. So here we got the holder that has to be removed. So to do that, we will use key number 7. Yeah, so I just confirmed that this is this one. So the first one, you don't have to remove the second one. So you're removing the first one on the both ends, and then after that you can lift the whole console. So this is what you need to do now. Lift this on the back and then on the front, and just pull it out. Not completely pull it out, but pull it out to the point so you got more access to the front parts. So yeah, so just leave the console and try to put it back. Watch out on this part here. I did manage to take this is like a hose which passed the air to the back of the car. So what I've done, I lift this part up, push this one down, and this helped me to release it. So this part is gone. Now I can see the mountings for the blower. Now from what I can see, there are 4 screws, 2 on the bottom and 2 on the top. You have to use the T20 tool to actually be able to reach them. So I will remove 4 of them and see what happens. So to remove this connector, you're just pressing the button on each side, and this allows you to pull it out. So to remove the connector, this is what you should do. When I was actually reaching it, I realized that connector came out, but I think that this one was actually broken because one of the parts here is missing. I was looking for bits of plastic to see if that was me, but I don't see any, so I think that was actually done before. But based on what I can see, I see that there is a wee thing which moves on the side, and this is something that secured it over here. So this has to be some way connected. I mean, I assume that from the bottom you have to put something like a screwdriver, and this should allow you to release it and then pull it out. From the top, there are 2 metal holders. To remove it, it's quite simple. You're just pressing it and they will come out. It's just, you know, it's simple security. Like for example, now I will press it to put it in. So you're just pressing it and it's coming off, as you can see. So now, after removing those clips, the part fell off. So this is this part, just easily come down automatically. And now I'm trying to work the way to remove this part. So I'm starting from this end. I just managed to went through this plastic cover, plastic hose which goes over there. So I'm working this out, and slowly it's moving out. So give it time, don't try to force it because you can break it and then it's gonna be hard to put it back. So try to do this easily, gently, to make sure that you're not gonna break anything. So after removing this part, I've noticed that it's easy to put it back because you can see that on this end is our connector that we've been fighting with. So it's not so bad. But I also noticed that there is a wee hole here, and I believe that this is for this connector. So when placing it back, this definitely have to go through this, because in other case you can just cut it, and if you're gonna cut it, this will remove the power which is gonna go over there. So make sure that this definitely go through this. Now what I can see is that there are two screws, again T20, one is here and the second one is over there. So yeah, without those two screws it's actually just simple matter of pulling it out. So I was expecting it's gonna be harder, but it looks like it is coming out. So I would recommend to just try to work one end first and then just pull it out to the end. So this is the old motor. So you have to disconnect the connector here and move this to the new blower. It depends, if you replace only the motor, then anyway you have to just remove it. So to remove this one, you have to put the flat screwdriver over here and just force it out. So this will come out. As you can see here, there is like a weak clip which lock when you just force this down. So in my case, this is a new blower, so I'm replacing the whole unit with the resistor. So in this case I need to move this wire from here and just transmit this to the new one. I also noticed that the blower has something like a suspension. That's quite cool. And anyway, I got the same one for the new one. So again, by just looking on the old parts and see how they goes, you can copy this to the new one. So they are wee rubber things that has to go here, and then you're just placing this in the same way as this one is done, which means the triangle go like that. So this is the same way as you have to put this on this end. So placing it back is not as easy as I thought. So sadly I have to remove two more things. So there are hoses on the both ends here and on other end over there. It's easy to be removed because you're just pulling it up and it will come out. So I would recommend to, but on the top you have to how to say it, the hose is going to another plastic bit, so you have to remove it a little bit and move it on side, then leave this on the bottom and it will come out. So this should give plenty of space to be able to add the new motor. Now you are installing the motor back in this way. So you got the hole for the screw over here, as you can see, that's one security, and the second one is over here. So as you can see, it's in. So without those two hoses on the both ends, you can see that both of them are gone. It was pretty easy, just put it in and slide this in. So anyway, keep in mind that the connector have to be on the right side and that you will be locking this over here using this wee bit and the other one over there. So this is the place where you have to put the screw. So you have to align everything in the way so it will fit. Maybe one more advice. When I was adding the hoses back, I had to put the top part first in this angle, then rotate this, then push this as far as I can, try to put this in, then take it down, and then by hand just try to match the place to go in on the both ends. It was not heavy task, to be honest. It was just matter of like pulling it up and down a little bit. Give it a time, don't try to rush it because you don't want to break anything, as I said before. So just gently try to rotate this, and then when everything is as it's supposed to be, leave this up. And this will make a little bit like a clicking noise, which means that the pipe is now connected on other ends. So both of them are there, which is brilliant. So let's move on. One more thing. I did manage to put this back in, no problem. That was like quite easy, but still I think that those hoses, maybe you should install them after you add this, which means it will be just easier because yeah, it was not hard, but it will be easier just to put it back without the hoses. And also, as I said before, keep in mind the place for the wire, because this has to go this way. Now, when you will be adding this cover, make sure that on each ends it overlap the tunnel which goes through the where you got the fan, because if not, then you might have some air leakage. So make sure that this definitely match the both parts. So guys, I wanted to test this just before I will put this all back together, just to make sure that it works. and you can see that it does work. So that's brilliant. I'm happy. And I must say that the power which now the blower have, it's like tremendous. It's like going to the power which didn't have before, definitely. You can even hear it probably how it works. So the job is done, yeah. I must say it was not a heavy task. It was not like really complicated. There was like small bit of fun with it, to be honest. So I would recommend to use the gloves because I cut myself in a few places. So yeah, I would recommend to use the gloves. The whole job took me something like 2 hours, including the lunch. So I will say it's something like 1.5 hours. So it's not so bad. You can let's say try to reserve yourself 2 hours just in case, but it's not a heavy task. So I think you should be able to do it on your own. I will put into the description a link to the website where you can check the part number which will apply to your car. As for the parts, it is completely up to you which parts you're gonna buy. I'm not gonna recommend anything because I prefer not to get involved, just in case if any part will get broken or anything. You know, this movie is to show you how to replace something, not to advertise something. So yeah, so the job is done. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that for some of you guys it will be useful. So thank you very much for watching, and I wish you a good day.